Fuck the people that try to make you scared.
Let me translate that for you.
Pedro Pascal. He's one of the most authentic and stylish actors out there. From starring in hits like Game of Thrones and Kingsman, to The Mandalorian and Fantastic Four. The collection of his works is something every actor dreams of, making him one of the most beloved and controversial figures at the same time. And due to his unstoppable run of hit performances, he's now been tasked to carry two of the biggest and heaviest franchises in the entertainment world today.
My favorite kind of mission.
After nearly 20 years of zero success, he's finally getting the chance to prove himself outside of television and lead in the big screen cinema. It's about time we shed some light on this man's career. Come with me as we have a closer look at his backbreaking journey and see why Pedro Pascal is suddenly everywhere. So why don't we start with a question? Who is Pedro Pascal?
I was born Jose Pedro Balmaceda Pascal.
Born on April 2nd, 1975 in Santiago, Chile, the country was experiencing its most violent and oppressive military coup under Augusto Pinochet.
It was a gunfight, but somebody was wounded, and they brought him to my parents' house so that my father could help tend the wound, hide them for a while. The person that brought them to our house, he was taken into custody and tortured and gave names, and then they came looking for my parents.
With tens of thousands of its own citizens reported missing or dead, and over 200,000 being forced into exile, a 6-month-old Pascal and his family were on the run for their lives.
My family left when I was 9 months old. After a year of political asylum in Denmark, we ended up in the States in San Antonio, Texas. We moved from San Antonio to California.
In middle school, he had a hard time fitting in, resulting in a lot of bullying for his love of passion for theater and arts.
And it not going well. And my mother being offended, being like, fuck that school. She found out about this Orange County High School of the Arts at the time. So I commuted 40 minutes to go to school, which was a nightmare for my parents. But then I got a driver's license and they were like, get the fuck out of here.
After high school, Pedro moved to New York and majored in drama at NYU.
I wanted to go to New York and go to school where Al Pacino went to school, the Strasberg Institute under NYU. The kind of highest, the most inspiring kind of acting. And I knew that it was sort of coming from theater and transitioning into films.
Wow, sorry.
No, I wasn't looking. I'm Buffy, by the way.
Eddie, this is one of the biggest jobs I ever got in my life. I couldn't believe it. I just knew how badly everybody wanted to get on this show. So freshly out of school to get on it, I was like, well, I'm shooting to the top. And then I died after one scene.
After securing his first big role, his family made the tough decision to move back to Chile due to his father being federally indicted by his employer, UC Irvine. This left young Pedro and his sister to be alone in the States without a home and a family. In a series of unfortunate events, Pedro received one of the worst phone calls when he was only 24. It was regarding the death of his mother.
I just loved her so much, and she's the love of my life in a way. And I was in Los Angeles when I found out. So it was getting the news and then getting on a plane and flying overnight to Santiago to go to a funeral. And I was very resentful that nothing stopped. So I moved back to New York to go out there and to do theater and to be a real actor. Big mistake. Big mistake. New York was like, really? You're back? Back to the restaurant, kid.
Though the loss was deeply traumatic, Pedro openly shares how incredibly supportive she was, never being a stage mom and crediting much of his success to her. He changed his name from Pedro Balmaceda to Alexander Pascal for 2 roles, before changing it again to Pedro Pascal.
There was a very, very meaningful reason, and Pascal, it always felt like a part of my identity. And so when my mother passed, I made a gradual transition to Pascal.
After 14 years of little success as an actor,
I was always the killer. I remember being getting really used to being in interrogation rooms without a trace and body of proof. CSI, NYPD Blue.
Pedro received help from a friend that he had met back in the 90s when he moved to New York.
And so I call Sarah Paulson, who I know is best friends with Amanda Peet, who's married to David Benioff, who is the creator of Game of Thrones. She
being Sarah Paulson is like, you give me that tape right now.
You shouldn't drink before a fight.
You learned this during your years in the fighting pits. I always drink before a fight.
It could get you killed.
Elia Martell. I killed her children. Then I raped her. Then I smashed her head in like this.
And with only 6 episodes of playing Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones, he received 4 nominations and 4 awards. After initially being rejected for the Netflix hit series Narcos.
I did audition for it. I did not get the part. They offered it to somebody else, and then that person fell out.
And this was my lucky follow-up to Game of Thrones. This was the first job I got after Game of Thrones.
With the success of Narcos, Pascal's agent received a call from one of Marvel's most instrumental movie director, Jon Favreau. But this time, it was for the Star Wars universe.
When John asked me to come and meet with him about something Star Wars, and they invited me into the room, and I'm seeing all of this, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? The bug? Or the robot? And he's like, you're the Mandalorian.
May the Force be with you. Handle's a little bumpy.
You're used to a gunship, but she's a starfighter, so fly her like one.
Okay, I'll open her up.
Securing Pascal's name for another 5 nominations and officially into Disney's VIP list of actors.
It's Pedro Pascal!
And when HBO was creating another widely successful game adaptation, The Last of Us, he received a direct offer for the role without even auditioning.
What the fuck you doing here? I came here to save you.
Well, let's just go back. Game of Thrones. Home run. Narcos. Home run. Mandalorian. Home run. And then The Last of Us. Look, what are you talking about?
But despite his humble beginnings and his ability to bring depth and flair to all of his roles, Pascal's fame made the vultures and attention-seeking media very hungry. When his co-star on The Mandalorian, Gina Carano, posted controversial tweets comparing the US to Nazi Germany and the use of pronouns, Pascal was dragged along for not helping her enough.
What did you say that got you fired?
I think the final straw was the Holocaust tweet.
When a clip of him surfaced online during the wrap party of The Last of Us Season 2, online haters called him various slurs for being too risque for his choice of dance movements. And in 2021, in support of his sister coming out as transgender, Pascal criticized J.K. Rowling's anti-transgender Instagram post.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't believe it, but I'm not gonna lie, it was painful.
I could believe it. Calling her out for her heinous and loser behavior, stating that he wanted to protect the people he loved and that bullies make me effing sick.
I am not an orator or a politician. I am a soldier.
But aside from the slander and politics, Pascal's love for his family and passion for the craft of acting is evident in his works.
Maximus. I would have died for him.
Even though he's been typecasted for back-to-back father figure roles, it's nice to finally see one who can nurture and deal with his emotions.
Because you're selfish.
Because I love you.
He's not afraid to step away from the classic hardened and tough patriarchal figure we've been spoon-fed for so many years. For someone struggling with anxiety, the culmination of his real-life experiences makes all of his performance refreshing and pure, which will be nice to see in all of the superhero roles he's worked hard for in the years to come. It'll be like watching a real superhero with a human heart and real emotions inside.
I finally knocked it off the list.
List. The new spacesuits.
Oh.
I take back every single bad thing I've been saying about you.
Thanks for watching. Give us a like and let us know what you think of Pedro in the comments. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
Let me explain something to you. There's acting on that level. There's acting, I dare say, on my level. And then there's Pedro.
Manners maketh man.
Anyway, Mr. Cage, what is your favorite movie?